Next, a gift should be used.
All right.
Many times we have this beautiful gift of singleness from God and we're not even using it. We're trying to replace it. We're trying to make it less than it really is. And so we end up doing things like dating, recreational dating. We know we're not ready for marriage, but we don't want to be single. So we just date with no purpose, no goal in mind. Just date. And then we'll be saying relationship goals. Relationship goals. That wasn't God's plan for us. We have to learn how to use our singleness. And Paul tells us how to use our singleness. In that same chapter, 1 Corinthians 7, I'm so sorry. Can I get some water anywhere? My voice is like going. Thank you. In that same chapter, Paul says that guys, young women, young men who are single, use your singleness to glorify God, because once you actually get in a relationship, you have to fulfill your responsibility to that person. So I need you in this time, in this moment, to use your singleness to glorify God. The moment that this time that you don't have to worry about taking care of anybody, where you're your only responsibility, where you're alone.
Yes, ma'am.
You can do whatever you want to do with this time. Use it to glorify God. Do not squander your singleness. Use it to learn more about yourself. Learn who God has made you to be. So many times we get in relationships and we don't even know who we are. So you don't even know what you want, but you're with somebody that you think you want, but you don't know if you would want them because you don't even know who you are. Isn't that problematic? Thank you so much. I'm like, dry throat, cotton throat, yeah. Hi, y'all. Let's keep it going. So, in this time, I have a question for everybody in here. Whether you're in a relationship, whether you chose A, B, C, D, or you're just confused and it's complicated, you don't know. How are you using this time in this season of singleness to glorify God? Are you? So, y'all know what the funny thing is? This is just coming to me right now, so I'm going to just go with it. I was never allowed to date, ever, because that's how African, like, no. Why are you not in your books? Like, why are you talking to anybody? I got my phone taken up so many times growing up, just left, it's okay, it's 9 p.m. Oh, yeah, my dad, give me your phone. You don't need to talk. Hey, girl, who are you talking to at 9 p.m.? It's bedtime. And so they would take my phone in the morning. I'd be like, can I have my phone back? And it was a mess. And then I was using a house phone. And then I'm like, all right, so it can only ring once. And it was just a mess. And I had, 3 boyfriends growing up. And of course, I'm looking back and I'm like, wow, I could have been a straight A student. Right? Played myself. And I was supposed to be using my singleness to prepare myself for what God has for me when I do get in a relationship. But instead, I was squandering it. I was staying up late. Y'all, sleep is like my number 2 hobby. But I was staying up late because I craved that relationship so bad. I was like, you know what, you're worth it. You know, it's a sacrifice. It's what it's supposed to be like. But no, many times, catch this, many times we treat, even when we get in relationships, and y'all, I'm not down in relationships. If you have a bae and he the one, please hold on to him, because there's not a lot of guys and girls that are ready. So if you have, keep it. But please understand that you dating somebody and you're auditioning them. You are not married to them. You are single until you're married, according to God's standard. Right? So you should not be giving up your dreams, your hopes, your purpose, your aspirations, your sleep, your well-being for anybody that does not put a ring on your finger. right? And when you get married, then you can worry about all that. But for now, they're just in the interview process. They're in the interview process. And he shouldn't really be getting to the next interview if he never passed the first interview. And many times we let people get to the
Okay, business major.
and they should have never been gone past the first interview, but we just said we're so lonely. I'm just bored. Oh, so I guess you're just a millionaire and you just got all your hopes and dreams figured out and you found your purpose, but you're bored. Ooh. Yeah. Children of God, I encourage you to value this time of singleness, because you will never have it again. According to God, you will never have it again once you get married. Value this time. Take care of yourself. Love on yourself. Find out who you are. Find out what makes you mad. Find out what makes you tick. Find out what makes you happy. Y'all, I have seen a lot of great marriages, but I've also seen a lot of jacked up ones. Where I'm like, bro, it would have been better if you just stayed single. It wasn't worth it.
That's right.
Y'all, in the book of Proverbs, it talks about how a woman, literally, an angry woman can tear a home apart. And I don't know, it really only talks about, I don't know what it is about women, but apparently we have some power. And so when I said that to say that although being in a relationship seems glamorous, please do not get in one until you know you're ready. And you know you're ready when you have embraced your singleness. If you get in a relationship and you're still struggling with being single, that relationship is destined to fail. Because you don't know who you are. And you don't know who God has called you to be. And so you're pretty much living a life that you don't know. You're in a relationship that you don't even know if you're supposed to be there. And it's very questionable. And the reason, and he said this in the video, and I think it's so profound, so I'm going to repeat it. The reason that most relationships fail is because it's a single problem. It's not a marriage one, it's a single one. So you have two broken single people who never got it right when they were single coming together and making a hot mess. And it's like, who did what? It's a mess.
That's right.
And so tonight we celebrate singleness.
Come on.
Embrace this time. Do not settle.
Yes.
If you need to be single, if God has not given you the gift of singleness and you're 30 years old, it is better than if you get into a marriage and that marriage was not meant to be. God don't, another thing he says in the video is God will only fund what he wants. Yes. So if you're over here getting into a marriage, getting into a relationship that you wanted but was never approved by God, and you're over here praying for a miracle, it's like, God is like, a miracle? I didn't even tell you to do this. This is your mess, but you're blaming me for it.
Right.
No.
That's right.
No, that's not the way it's going to work. So, this Valentine's Day, y'all. It's okay if you're not in a relationship. This cuffing season schedule has got to go. It wasn't made for children of God. It wasn't. It was not created for us. And I implore you guys to take this moment that you're in, take this season that you're in, and create yourself, craft, be good at what you do, love on yourself, find your purpose. If you have not found your purpose, you need to go deeper and be more intentional. Life is too short to just be living for living's sake. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. And I encourage you guys to not let social media distract you. Yes. Next. We have to be careful about social media intake, because as strong as we are and as strong as I thought I was, it was jacking me up mentally. Yeah. To the point where like I wouldn't even know I was doing it, but I was just trying to impress. Just so I'm like, oh, I hope you look my, you see, I'm right here. And it wasn't like I was just settling for anybody, but that longing that longing to be in a relationship was so strong that I wasn't embracing my singleness like I should have. And I don't want y'all to make that mistake. And if you've made that mistake, it's time to get it right. Because we by God's grace, we can get it right. We can be content with our season of singleness. We can be content with our gift. And it shouldn't even really be contentment. It should be gratitude. It should be like happiness. It shouldn't be something that you're settling for. Or something that you just take grudgingly. It should be something that you take with joy. And you should be like, God, thank you for this gift that you've given me. Now teach me how to use it for your glory. So we have to be careful because the world will tell us that recreational dating is normal. It will tell us that we have to date in order to know what we're looking for in a marriage. We live in a test run society. We got to try it out before, we actually commit to it. And so we end up trying all these different cars that we have no intention of buying just because they look good at the store. But we have no intention of buying them. We know we can't afford them. We have no intention of buying them, but we drive it. We just driving all these cars. We have to be careful about that. God's view is that you value your singleness. Then one day, when he's ready, and he knows you're ready, he's going to give you the gift of marriage.